What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl. We are down here, girl, just eating some edibles and having our coffee. We have a little Rice Krispie treat, Fruity Pebble um, edible here. See, so it's Fruity Pebbles, and I'm having it with my coffee. So, with my mushroom coffee, it's so good. It really tastes good together. Oh my god. So I'm having a little piece a day because the dosage is really high. So I don't need a lot. And one thing I do like about it is that the little piece the square that I cut is just like a perfect size for me. Because it's so sweet, you know? So I don't need it too sweet. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to try her brownies. Brownies are always better. I remember the first time I had an edible. Mm, what's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl. I know y'all don't like people eating, so I'll do this. What's up? The first time I had an edible, you want me to tell you the story? So I was at my friend Mary's house. She had just recently moved from next door to me to Silver Lake in the Koreatown. So Silver Lake is just like right there. Silver Lake Echo Park is just right there. So so Mary was having a party, right? They were having a party, house party, little get together, you know how you do. So I headed over to Silver Lake, parked my car, got out, went up. Mary had a cute house in Silver Lake. Cute house, cute backyard, just very cute space. Oh my God, it was so cute. Silver Lake Echo Park, they have really cute places, like really cute apartments and duplexes and stuff like that. So hers was in a duplex. So I don't remember who was making them, but they had Godiva chocolate there. And they had broke up the Godiva chocolate bar and put it in some cookie dough and made chocolate chip cookies with Godiva chocolate infused reefer. So the reefer was in there. The reefer was in there. And I was like, let me have some. So I didn't know my dosage yet. I didn't know much about edibles. I understood about edibles, but I didn't, I understood about weed brownies and stuff like that. So I didn't know what the dosage was, right? That's really important. That's where people you feel like you're about to melt into the couch. It was one time. I have another time when I ate another cookie, but this the first time I had an edible. So I went to Mary's house. It was a party. Everybody was doing their thing. They were like, "You want some cookies?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I took a big piece, like, because I love chocolate chip cookies. I love chocolate chip and mint chocolate chip ice cream. I love chocolate chip cookies. So I had a half of a chocolate chip cookie, right? So I'm doing my thing. Partying, mingling, having drinks, playing games. Some people playing games over there, stuff like, just having a party, listening to music, taking little snacks off the table and stuff like that. And then I was in the kitchen and I was like this, and it hit me, right? And I was sitting like this, and I was like, they were like, Erica, you okay? I was just thinking. I was literally stuck. Then I started thinking, if anything happens and I have to move fast, I don't know if I'll be able to move from this position. Girls like this. I'll never forget it. It's crazy. I'll never forget it. And I remember having this Nokia phone that allowed you to do voice notes on it. So I was like, so then Mary, it was either Mary or her cousin Celeste. They came, one of them came up to me. I think it was Mary. It was somebody. I don't remember exactly who. But Mary's room was just like right off of the kitchen. So I was like, I need to make it to her room If I can make it to her room, I feel like I could be safe if anything happens. Because in my mind, I'm starting to think like, I'm not moving. I'm literally stuck right here. And if anything happens, will I be able to move fast enough to safety? So I made it to Mary. I was like, I need to get to Mary's room. So I made it to Mary's room, and it literally was like 2 feet away. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get to Mary's room? It's so far away. It was like literally right there. So I laid on her bed. I got into her room later. It was dark. I laid on her bed and I took out my phone and I left myself a voice note. And I said, don't you ever, 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 ever do another edible again in your life. Don't you ever, I left it to myself. I left a voice note to myself. Don't you ever do an edible ever, 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 ever again in your life. Of course, I've done edibles since, but that was, I remember leaving myself that voice note and listening to it the next day and just laughing and laughing and laughing. When I tell you we laughed, because I was like warning myself, like, girl, you are here. I was doing everything like who, what, when, where, why. I'm here at Mary's party. It's Saturday. I was just saying all of like the things, and I was like, and you just had a chocolate chip, a Godiva. You know how good Godiva chocolate is, girl. So you had a Godiva. Was it Godiva or Ghirardelli? I think it was Godiva. It was Godiva. Yeah, it was Godiva chocolate chips. It was a chocolate bar broke up, and I don't know if it was the butter. It had to be the butter that the cookies were made with were can of butter. And I left and I was like, and do not ever take an edible again. I was talking like so slow. Baby, when I tell you I used my 20s for what they were good for, baby, I sure did. I had a time. I had a good time in my 20s. I'm not going to even front. The 30s chapter is where I made a choice, and it like changed the trajectory of my life. Like moving to Atlanta changed the trajectory of where I was supposed to go. But wherever you are, there you are, and whatever direction you take, you're supposed to be on that path for a reason. But yeah, and then my 40s was like my 40s, chapter 40, like in that decade is when I was like, oh yeah, the way these people, that's when I read, that was like the crux of my 40s, is like realizing like, oh, this is not how any of this is supposed to go. But 30 should have been like me just like moving freely. Instead, I was like stuck in Atlanta, far away from a beach. I was just like, what am I? Why are you here? Like when I moved to Atlanta, I literally like I was there for 7 years, and I literally was like, why am I here? Why are you here? I never got used to the winters. I remember I used to wear my ankles out in the winter. I was like, I will never get used to these winters. Why is it so cold? This is dumb. Um, and then I just felt like I remember my mom coming to visit, and she was like, it's like the Walking Dead outside. And I was like, what? She was like, it's just like people are walking around. And it looks like they don't have a direction. Like they're not going in, they're like not going in any direction. It's almost like the Walking Dead. And it's so funny that my mom had called Atlanta the Walking Dead. And then like years later, the Walking Dead was like based at CDC in Atlanta where the CDC is. Isn't that crazy? And I said, my mom used to say that about Atlanta was the Walking Dead. She used to say that about Atlanta. She thought like, because my mom is the type, she'll jump on public transportation and like just take it, just to see the city and see what's going on in the town or whatever. She'll just jump on public transportation. And so she'll do that. And when she came to visit me in Atlanta, I think my mom came to Atlanta twice. She was afraid to fly. She's scared of everything. And so she finally did fly one time. I think Did she take the bus? She took the bus one time. Did she take the bus? I think she took the bus the first time she came, because I remember her picking her up from the bus station, and then the second time she came, she took the airplane. I was there for 7 years. My mom only came to visit me twice, and um, let's see, my dad. Did he come once? I don't know if my dad came at all. I know my brother. Oh yeah, he did come. They did come when my first son was born. My grandmother, my grandfather, my brother, and my dad came. But yeah, and so when she came, she jumped on the bus, and then when she came out, when she came back, her observation of the city was that the people seemed like they were walking dead. Isn't that crazy? And when Walking Dead came out years later, I couldn't help but to remember what my mom said about the city of Atlanta. And like no one told, like it's so funny because my dad, when I would complain to my dad, like, oh, you guys didn't come visit me, he was like, nobody told you to move to Atlanta. Did nobody tell you to? It's almost like, I didn't tell you to move to Atlanta, so I'm not coming to visit you. It was just like the weirdest reasons for not like being supportive. And I do wish that somebody would have grabbed me and was like, no, 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 no. The money that you have, that you're about to spend in Atlanta, you need to take that money, take some of that money, get yourself a passport, and get yourself on an airplane and get out of here. Like, go like the 30s. 20s was good. It was fun. I had a really good time. I had a really good time in my 20s. I did. I really did. I did. I had a good time, girl. And it's so funny because I talked to a friend that I used to be like later since I've been back to California, and who I used to party with all the time. Maybe I tell you, we used to be partying and then would go to work the night we worked together as well. We would go to work the next day. We would go to bed. We would be like 3 o'clock and then get up and be racing to Santa Monica, honey, to get to work. And that motherfucker would have a fucking Guinness in between his legs, smoking a blunt on the way to work, girl. I used to be going to work high as hell, girl, a mess. Yeah, we had a good. 20s was fun. 30s, I should have been traveling instead of getting into a relationship and having babies. But I probably would have gotten to a relationship in a different country and had baby. Like the babies were gonna come. Like they were gonna come. You're right. So that's what it was. So what is going on down to the blogs, honey? That's enough of the church news and announcements. Yeah, the edibles. The edibles. This edible. Where did it go? Where the fuck did it go? Oh, it's behind my coffee cup, girl. It's a mess. Here it is. It was bigger than this. I've already cut off like this much of it, and now I'm on the second line of defense. But I am getting ready to roll some weed up. But yeah, so what is going on down to the blogs, girl? Let's see. Isn't enough. ABC affiliate group Sinclair replaces Jimmy Kimmel Live with Charlie Kirk tribute and demands host apologize and donate to Kirk's family. I just, girl, stop. And I would never. If I was Jimmy Kimmel, yeah, I heard about that yesterday. He got suspended. So much for free speech, huh? And then he's talking about a civilian. He's not talking. This is another civilian that he's talking about. He's not talking about a veteran. He's not talking about an elected official. He's not. He's not. He's talking to a community college dropout. That's who he's talking to, with 25% teeth and 75% gums, and all of his features are right smack dab in the middle of his face, looking like the inbred imbecile that he was. And now you have to come down and apologize and make a tribute to his family. Y'all are literally doing this for a Klan member, a Nazi Klan member. Like, that's what this dude is. And you are literally firing people for talking about a civilian. This man is a civilian. He's, girl, boycott ABC for acting like you have some moral high ground. When you start saying, oh, we don't care about the death of a Klan member, we don't care about the death. Oh my God, we should feel more sympathy for the death of Hitler's protege. Oh, we should feel more empathy for the Grand Wizard's son who used his voice to terrorize people. We don't rejoice in the death of a man who would shit on our graves. Like, that's what you get. That's what happens when you start acting like stuff like that. It says he was literally a menace, like Dennis the Menace to society. He was a menace to society. He was creating and feeding death and violence to college college age children, literally trying to morph and mold the malleable, impressionable brains of people whose frontal lobe isn't fully developed, and trying to shape the way that they see things, and to shape it in the most skewed, delusional way. It says ABC affiliate group Sinclair has announced it's replacing Jimmy Kimmel Live with a Charlie Kirk tribute, while demanding the host Jimmy Kimmel apologize and donate to Kirk's family and his company Turning Point USA. I would never. I tell you, I would never. I would just be like Jimmy Kimmel and say, I'm retiring. I'm not about to do nothing. Y'all can blackball me. Y'all can do whatever the fuck you want to over this fucking Klan member. This motherfucker was a Klan member. That is how you have to see him. He wasn't this straight laced kid trying to make the society a better place. He's literally feeding children death. That's why he choked on a bullet. As we previously shared, on September 10th, the world witnessed the tragic, that wasn't an assassination, he was shot. They typically use the phrase assassinated to elected officials, civil, members of the military, people who are actually activists. You were not. You were none of that. You literally were none of that. You were some pervert running around to college campuses trying to change the minds of the youth with your violence and your death and your destruction and your chaos and your confusion and your delusions. This is insane. Canceling the show is one thing, but demanding an apology and donation is crazy as fuck. Yeah, they would just have to blackball me, honey. He shared jokes about Donald Trump, mourned his dear friend's death. However, by Wednesday, the world learned that ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely following his remarks. Hours later, President Donald Trump applauded ABC for canceling the Jimmy Kimmel show. Y'all are under a dictatorship where they are praising and deifying a civilian whose actually mission was to create chaos and confusion and spread misinformation. And this is who your country, land of the free, home of the slave, is giving credence and credit and kudos and applause to a man who was really delivering death. I think it's absolutely insane. I would never, ever, 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 ever. Who is Sinclair? I think it's absolutely insane that they are doing that. I do. Okay, girl. Republican Texas Rep Troy Neal says back then Charlie Kirk would have been Jesus' 13th disciple. He was a man of faith. And that's what I'm saying. White, male, heterosexual, Christian. Because they're not really like living by the word of God. They're actually just using pieces of the word of God, their word of God, to dominate and control people. That is it. That is the reason why you cannot keep spouting things saying the Bible says this and the Bible says that. And the way that you are positioning these Bible verses are to exclude, condemn, right? Like try to find loopholes through a way that you can be with children. Like this, I swear this place is literally like, it's just so upside down. And mainland America, it doesn't seem necessary for me anymore. He literally said that the other day. And I was like, yes, because he doesn't want to come to the United States to perform because he's afraid that ICE raid will happen at his shows. And so he does not want to come to America anymore. And I don't blame him. And there are going to be more and more people not wanting to deal with this country because of the way it's being ran into the ground by white, male, heterosexual, Christian ideas. And all of that shit is white, male. The only thing that is concrete is the male identity. But that whiteness is made up, that heterosexuality is made up, that Christianity is made up. The only thing that is factual and we can sit and look at and is male, is being male. And under a system of patriarchy, a male is the highest position in the hierarchy. But then you inject race, and then white is a part of that. And then heterosexual is a part of that. And then Christian is a part of that. They use their Christian ideas to incite violence. The KKK used the Bible to justify killing Black people. And this is the same book y'all use to crucify and to demean gay people. Use the same book, the same exact book that was used to justify hanging you from a tree or burning a cross in your fucking on your fucking front lawn. They use the same exact Bible you Black folks use to demean gay people. The same book. So you're not going to tell me that the same book you use to oppress you, you're literally following that. That's to me full assimilation. You colorist, you a bigot, you use Christianity to demean other people. You say that it's only Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. You got niggas killing each other over their heterosexual identity, killing other women, killing other men, killing people to uphold their heterosexual identity when they're really not really upholding anything. And then we'll use the Bible to uphold their violence. And then like literally call this a free country. You cannot call a land that has as many laws as the United States a free country. The laws, the plethora of laws does not make you free. The laws are constricting and confining. And then they can create laws that govern a woman's body. There's no law on the books that govern a man's body and tell a man by the time you turn this age, you need to have a vasectomy and you cannot have it reversed until you prove you are worthy of offspring. No, they would never do that. But they want to have control over a woman's body. and then say that groups of people don't have brain processing abilities. When all you inbred cousin fucking motherfuckers out here fucking your cousins, fucking your aunts, you inbred six-toe motherfuckers, and then literally have you in every single thing, every single structure in America, every system is upside down. It's wrong. Even the fact that they have women running towards systems that don't serve them, and literally you are beating a man over his head to take his last name. That's the part that really chaps my hide, is that you are literally in an upside down world where you think this man legitimizing you. Insane. He's a man of faith. All right, let's see what else is happening. Don Lemon reacts to Jimmy Kimmel's show being canceled, slams Trump and MAGA, and polls people on the street.
Some scary shit. We didn't want people ratting out people who are saying things that they don't agree with, or saying things that they deem to be negative about the sad and tragic death of Charlie Kirk. That's like, to me, it reminds me of
sad and tragic. Like, that's the thing, y'all try to put so many kind of like labels on this thing. That man was shot by another Klan member, and everybody else who talks about it has to talk about it in a certain way to pay reverence and deify a Klan member in the United States. And you pussies are out. No.
Sad and tragic death of
you testicles out there, you weak motherfucking punk bitches out there talking about, well, it was a tragedy and we don't rejoice in the death of tyrants. You don't rejoice in the death of tyrants? But how did you rejoice in the death of Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein? Who, like, you could like literally go and see what happened to him, like Saddam Hussein, like that was televised, like they recorded that. And then the people on the outside tore down a statue. They made the statue fall, a statue that was erected to pay him reverence. Gargamel, an evil tyrant terrorizing the city, terrorizing the town. They tore his statue down, but not in America. Not in America. You erect a statue and slap this motherfucking inbred bitch on the side of a goddamn candle and say we don't rejoice in the death of tyrants? What? And y'all say y'all not your ancestors, and you have the technology and you have more than what they have, and you still around here saying we don't rejoice in the death of people. You don't? Now I can see if I don't even know, like, he was a bad person. I don't care. He was a bad person. He was an evil person. He was a harmful person. But like, once again, in America, we blame victims and we uplift criminals. That's why the president of the United States is a pedophile felon. That's why everybody's on high alert and nervous system is out of whack, because they don't know anybody can just pull out a gun and just shoot up everybody because they having a bad day. To me, you don't have to keep, I don't, my ancestors did not build this country for me to stay here and suffer through its tyranny. That wasn't their dream. I don't give a fuck if they built the White House. The White House it has a sitting president who is a pedophile, a scammer, a liar, a degenerate, a pervert, felon who thinks it's okay to grab women by their genitalia without asking, who bites his bottom lip while he looks at young girls right sitting next to Jeffrey Epstein. We have a secret. This is who your country is being ran by. And everybody's just like, well, we gotta keep fighting. We gotta, girl. And now your free speech. You can't even talk. He is a civilian. He is a civilian running his pervert ass around. And I'm sure there's some young girls who will come to the front sooner or later while he's traipsing his pervert ass down to these college campuses. And you got a bitch over there with her fucking paper thin lips looking like she eats human beings, talking about we're going to keep his message going. And if you keep his death message going, death will be knocking at your door too, lady. It's all that's just the way it goes. You conjuring up just a bunch of death. That's all y'all do. Death, misinformation, chaos, destruction. Too bad Tyler wasn't on the clock the day that they faked an assassination attempt. Crazy as hell.
Is on ABC late night host.
Yes.
He's been taken off the air indefinitely. Okay, so what do you think?
It sucks and it's idiotic and it doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. This is the times we live in.
You mean it doesn't make sense? Tell me why it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because number one is everyone wants to spout free speech unless it's something you don't agree with, and then you can't have free speech. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
what do you think is going on in this country?
Oh, we're going to hell in the handbasket. It's going to hell in the handbasket. That's your grandmother saying it.
Yes. Why are you so quiet back here? Nothing to say?
Nothing to say.
She's like, are you concerned about freedom of speech or rights or anything like that?
I'm concerned about everything. How can you not be?
Yeah.
I'm concerned about waking up tomorrow and the next thing I'm going to see. How can you not be?
Thank you. That's who Jimmy Kimmel is?
I'm afraid I don't.
You know who Jimmy Kimmel is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear what happened?
Yes.
What do you think?
It's fucking bullshit. It's horrible. I mean, they're trying to silence us in every way.
Yeah.
And we knew Stephen Colbert was the first one to go. We know they're going after everyone else. I mean, let's be honest. There were 2 young black men hung in Mississippi, and no one is mad about it. No one is pissed about it. But we're mad because, should Charlie Kirk have died? Absolutely not. He should have not been murdered, but he should not be celebrated because he died at the hands of what he has spoken against. That everyone should have a gun. Where are we with speech? Where are we with our opinions? Like, what am I gonna get if someone sees this?
That's a real thing. I mean, people want to talk and they go, "Oh, no, I can't." They're worried about what happens with their job.
I'm worried now, but still, I'm also kind of like, wow. I don't know. I mean, it's terrifying.
You're gonna curb your speech or your opinions at all?
No.
Thank you, guys.
What is this? What is
This
this?
is for me. This is my channel.
I follow you on Instagram.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
It's me.
Yeah, hi.
So Jimmy Kimmel?
They didn't know they was talking to Don Lemon. He had a hood on. Not a white hood. Oh, girl. I gotta charge my phone. There we go. Okay, there we go. It's terrible. It really is terrible that people don't, it's like you don't have free speech. And this is literally not, you're not talking about a dignitary. You're not talking about a politician. You're not talking about a veteran. You're not talking about you're not talking about anyone who holds any type of civil or federal or whatever. You don't hold it. You're a civilian. You're a civilian. You're not even you're not even an activist. You're just a pervert running around to college campuses trying to change the minds of children. That's all you're doing. You're a fucking Pied Piper. And I'm sure we weren't going to be too far off of some young girls coming out saying that Charlie Kirk gnawed on them with his fucking little ass teeth. Suspension isn't enough. I would never, ever, if I was Jimmy Kimmel, y'all would just have to blackball me, bitch. That would just be the end of it. Wanda Sykes slams Donald Trump after Jimmy Kimmel's show's been canceled.
Because I was supposed to go over and have a chat with my friend Jimmy Kimmel on his show. But as you have heard by now, the Jimmy Kimmel show has been pulled indefinitely, abruptly, because of complaints from the Trump administration. So let's see. He didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza within his first week, but he did end freedom of speech within his first year. Hey, for those of you who pray, now's the time to do it.
No,
love you, Jimmy.
No, it's not. What has praying got black? Where? Whoo, shit. It amazes me we have a president who moves off of emotion, but a woman is too emotional to be president. Right, because every single thing they have sold to you is literally upside down. Just record at your own studio or home and post it to IG and YouTube. It's the same thing. Nobody's really watching TV anyways. He can do that. He can definitely do that. But then he needs advertisers, right? In order to fund the show, you need advertisers. And if advertisers aren't pulling out of the show because of the words of the host, then what is the station doing? And it just shows that who is running media. And you do not have a free speech. You do not have freedom of press. You don't. Everything in this country is a literal lie, and everybody just is fueled on hope. On hope it'll change. It's not going to change. And especially as they continue, black men keep fucking non-black women so we can switch this whole game up. The depossession is really what is bothering them, is knowing that in a few years, it's like not far off. In a few years, this country they will no longer be the majority in this country. They're not the global majority. And that's the crazy part, is white people are literally the global minority. They literally are. There are more brown people and quote people of color than they are. And that is the problem. Y'all keep interracial coupling. Keep doing it, please. Thank you. Levon shares wild video of Bhad Bhabie after she accused him of abuse. Looks like Levon has responded back to Bhad Bhabie's abuse claims. Bhad Bhabie seen on top of her baby father's car after accusing him of abusing her again on the internet. Girl, she's literally on top of this man's trunk, holding on to the hood and crying and crying and crying. But he also abuses you and hits you. This is where this is why it's like it's something mentally wrong, and that you have you have an not anxious attachment. It's this attachment style where you're afraid. I think it is anxious attachment, where you're afraid that the person is even though the person is abusing you, when they want to leave you, you don't want them to leave. You don't want them to leave, and you perform like she's literally on top of his car, holding on to the hood and crying her eyes out. So it's like you don't want him to go, but he's also harming you.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Right now, you can save £50 per person. Hey, get off the car. Are you looking safe? Free Chill Place holidays, baby. With 22 years. Nothing
Hold up, I called you. I called you.
No, I called you.
Hold up.
Are you drunk?
Nah, well, I'll be drunk.
Because you didn't know if you called me or not.
My phone was in my pocket. I just woke up.
Okay.
Wow, what's up?
Nothing. I was just letting you know that I landed.
I thought she wanted to get away from me. Why you let me know that you landed?
I'm not telling you where I'm going, but you know what state I'm in, obviously. I'm not being mean to you, Yvonne.
I'm not taking that you being mean. I'm just asking you a question. I don't think you're being mean. Hold up, I called you.
He said schizophrenia. Whoop-de-doo.
Users will try to silence their fucking victims. If you're fucking bold enough to do it, you should be bold enough to fucking stand on it. Like,
I actually agree with that.
Really told me.
I actually agree with that. Like, I feel like if you're bold enough to fight and beat on a woman, you should come to the front and be like, yeah, I did that shit. And it's so crazy how you have all this aggression for this woman in private, beating her in private. And some of the stuff be happening in public, but abusing her in private, but can't come to the front and admit that you're doing it. That's how you know it's wrong, because you can't even admit that you're doing it, and you will call a woman a liar. But you big and bad in private to beat her ass, to harm her, to abuse her, but in public you got to deny it and call her crazy. But when you see her hanging on the hood of that car, you would think something is definitely wrong with the situation. And you having this idea that you want to stay with somebody when you are online admitting that he has harmed you in the time that y'all have been together. He has put his hands on you or harmed you at least 500 times. That's, you can't even get to 2 with me. You're not going to be able to do it twice. One time you get to cross my motherfucking boundaries. I ain't never, girl, if you have ever been on the hood of a car, it is time to sit down somewhere and not be worried about a motherfucking dick. You have lost your mind if you're hanging on cars. Women snap, girl, I have broken somebody's car windows. I sure have. I have actually seen my mom flatten somebody's tires. Women have done things to men and their property, but hanging on the side of somebody's car is not on the side, I'm sorry, on the hood, and like literally like laying on the hood, and he's moving the car back and forth, can easily drive off with you and turn the car and you fly off the car, because you're not holding on to a car for dear life. I'm sure you have nails and everything else, so that's not happening. People have done things to people because there is this one where either you felt disrespected, so you want to get back at the person. That was me. I feel like you did something, I'm gonna do it back, and it's gonna be worse. That's why I said, like, the way that these people are socialized to relate to women is not good for my health, because I'll end up on Snapped, honestly, truly. And they're all social. It's like the same fucking personality. It's like the same thing. And then the first thing they do is call you crazy, because your reaction to the abuse, people look insane, and then they start recording you, and then they show everybody, see, this is how she was acting. But what you do. Show what you do. Show what you do. Listen to her.
Users will try to silence their fucking victims. If you're fucking bold enough to do it, you should be bold enough to fucking stand on it. Like,
I agree with that.
you know, he really told me, I don't hit you no more.
because I know the type of white police bitch you are. Meanwhile, I've only made one police report against Levon.
It should be more.
When he's hit me, let's see, if we've been together for 3 years, and well, March will be 3 years, and there's 365 days in a year. That means roughly 900 days. He's hit me at least 500 times. He spit on me. Well over that. Levon is the first and only person to ever spit on me, spit in my face at all. Users will try to silence their...
When I tell you how I would get a fucking cast iron skillet, heat it up on the stove with some motherfucking grease in it, and then stand over you and drop that fucking hot skillet on your fucking face. You spit on me, motherfucker. Girl, no, 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 no. But you see, she doesn't have anybody around her to shake her fucking shoulders. And even if you did 500 times, he should be in jail. And I hope you have pictures of everything. You should even sue him. If you can't get a criminal charge, I'm suing you civilly. But he's the type of man who would kill her. I'm just going to say it. He's the type of man who would kill her. You spit on me? Not only is he putting his hands on, but to me, spitting on somebody is like the highest form of disrespect. You spit on me, I'm going to try to rip your head off of your body. That girl, I don't think anything could hold me. But if somebody spit on me, girl, and you still probably letting him fuck you, like he literally hates you. So what do you think that dick inside of you is doing? It's all you're doing is getting thrusted with hatred. And I completely agree with her. Y'all motherfuckers don't have enough balls to come to the front. You're pussies. You don't have pussies. That's the problem. You weak testicle motherfuckers can't even come to the front. After you're beating on a person that is literally smaller than you, she still sounds like a child. I think she's like 21, 22. And then y'all get with these niggas talking about he don't want to call the cops because she's on some white woman call the cops shit. Nobody would have to call the cops on you if you kept your motherfucking hands to yourself, nigga. And when the cops come, do with him what you will. If he don't make it to the station, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Last time I saw him, the cops had him because he put his hands on me. 500 times? Mm-mm.
The first time this man spit in my face, I was pregnant. And it was because I caught him DMing a girl in vanish mode. Y'all remember when my friend Mariah that passed away got to the fight at the restaurant? Because another girl there stood up for me because she heard me saying like, I seen it. She was like, why you cheating on her? Like, she's way too good for you. You don't deserve her. That's what happened at the restaurant that day. He was DMing a girl in vanish mode. And very well so, it could have not been what it looked like, and I could have been tripping, but I was also 9 months pregnant. She could have just DM'd him, and he opened it and didn't say anything. I seen it, but I didn't know. And
now you making excuses?
Telling me, everything. I swear on everything that I love. I am not dealing with this man no more ever again in my life. I went through so much shit trying to love this person. I went through so much shit trying to understand.
It sounds terrible. It sounds just the screeching of her voice, and it's like what she is choosing to deal with. And then when he's trying to leave you, you're on the hood of the car. You need some psychiatric intervention, because this over another person outside of yourself who is blatantly, when somebody spits on you, if a man ever spit, a woman, anybody ever spits on you, you never ever be around them again. To me, I feel like spitting is worse than putting your hands on somebody. I feel like it's literally so disgusting. I want to take the insides of my body and germs and spit them on you. That's why when they wouldn't let New York get at Pumpkin, that's why Pumpkin looks like a motherfucking pumpkin today. When she spit at New York, if I was a security guard, I'd been like, that's on girl, go right ahead, whoop her ass, rip her head off her fucking body. Yes. Yeah, pull her trachea out while you're at it. Oh yes, I'm gonna try to girl, when I tell you I'm gonna try to bend you in every fucking way like a fucking Barbie doll. Oh girl. That is disgusting. To me, that's like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to hire Tyler. What's his name? The one that did the jugular shot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call Tyler to get at you, girl, because absolutely not. And just hearing there's so many girls that they're crying like this over disrespectful men. And you know what is even more insane? They will do it again with the next person. Until you figure out your fucking self, you're gonna act like this over every single person. Every person doing all this crying and shit.
Y'all on everything. So
Let me read some of the comments. He made her that way, period. This is common for victims in DV. So sad. What kills me, she's literally the breadwinner. She's literally the dinner and the table in the situation. Girl, stand the fuck up. Ladies, don't ever crash out over a man. Just get a new one. Or no. How about you stay by yourself? How about you learn how to not show up like this in relationships before you hop into another one? That's the issue that I have. That's why I said I'm not saying nothing about Cardi B, because what she did was so damn dumb. So dumb. First of all, this motherfucking man has a case against him for SA. Why are you opening your legs up to him unprotected? Why aren't you protecting yourself? Once again, y'all around here sharing raw dick and then be mad because some broad is jumping into to my man's DMs. Y'all need to have more self-respect and more respect for yourselves than you do these men. Y'all respect the men more than you respect yourselves. And they know it. They know it. They know it. And you're not even, your baby just turned 1. Blossom just turned 1. She doesn't get the attention that Wave and Culture got. She's not going to be able to get that attention. That's going to be the one. The third one, that's going to be the one. She's going to be just like Saint West over there. You watch. All that smiling shit she be doing. Lil Blossom doesn't even get a chance to be a baby. She's about to have another sibling in February or March. A Pisces, to be the polar opposite of them damn Virgos. You got 2 Virgos over there. And you about to have another baby February, March. What is that going to be, an Aquarius? Good luck to you, girl. And then you're going to be raising those babies by yourself. Why the fuck are you pregnant again? That's why you're afraid to tell your parents, because what the fuck? Do they like him? And Robin, who was that? Gail King? She's over there still thinking, oh, trying to convince people to get married. So Gail King talking about, oh, I'm sure your parents. I don't like the way it's talked about as if like, because there's a baby involved, the same thing they doing with Charlie Kirk. Just because it's a baby involved, you're supposed to act a certain way about somebody announcing a pregnancy. She's not even divorced. She's not divorced. And yes, people get in relationships and be married and stay married. And you can ask a 10 Dominican men who are divorced. They ain't divorced. They ain't really divorced. They still married to that lady. and they got girlfriends and everything else. And men do it all the time. People do it all the time. People stay married and they do their thing. But so you're already pregnant? Like, and then you'll do it again. They keep doing it again. Anyone who's ever actually been physically and emotionally abused in an emotionally abusive relationship would know exactly what's going on in this video and the why behind him posting it. I wish people understood what's happening. People do understand what's happening. Domestic violence is so common that for anyone to act like they don't know what's happening and how it works and oh my God, and you're lying and you're gaslighting. That's what I was saying yesterday in the chat when Dame is aligning gossiping to being gendered, and everybody's in the comments giving examples of how gossiping is not gendered. That's when you know that you're being gaslit, because you are using real examples that everybody can see and saying, see, this is what men do. Men gossip in barbershops. Men gossip in locker rooms. Men gossip on the court. Men gossip, like using all of these examples when we know that exists and we know that gossip isn't gendered, but we're still trying to prove that gossip isn't gendered by showing examples of what already exists to prove that it's not gendered, and trying to prove to a man who's sitting up there and gonna lie about everything to every last one of his teeth fall out of his mouth, lying and aligning gossiping with a gender when we know that it's not. But yet and still, we're still trying to give examples of that it's not gendered. That's when you are being gaslit, because you are denying what exists and what we all see and what we all understand and know, and yet and still we're trying to prove to this motherfucking ignorant ass man that gossiping isn't gendered. We know gossiping isn't gendered. We know it isn't. We know that people talk, but yet and still we're trying to prove by giving examples. You're being gaslit. I'm not going to prove what is already existing. Why do I keep having to try to prove to you that gossiping isn't gendered when you are sitting here gossiping? That's how you know you're being gaslit. That's what I was saying yesterday when everybody kept saying, what was it? Gossiping isn't gendered because this exists and this exists and this exists. And it's just like, we know that it exists, but we have to deal with people gaslighting situations and being like, that's not what's happening. You're a fucking man beating on this girl, this young girl. She said 500 times. And your response is showing her in her psychosis of trying to hold on to a man who beats her, and call it schizophrenia, because you are abusing this woman and she has a weird attachment style and she doesn't want to be abandoned and left because has been going on through her entire life. And so the person who harms her, she doesn't want them to leave. That's a trauma bond. That's a trauma bond. You know what's going on. And that's the crazy part, because they gaslight the situation. You know you're beating on that girl, but and with the response that everyone seems to have, she's crazy. They don't work from a different playbook. And the next broad who gets with him will be shaking her finger at Bhad Bhabie. That's not going to happen to me. Yes, it is going to happen to you. And if it doesn't happen right away, it will happen eventually, because there hasn't been a consequence for his behavior. So he's going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And he is the type of dude that will kill that girl. But people have to act like they don't know what's going on. You know exactly what's going on. Stop acting like you don't know how abuse works and how people stay in these jive ass relationships. When little girls, we start telling little girls, he likes you. He done pulled her hair, threw dirt at her, and oh, he just likes you. What? He threw dirt on me. He made fun of me in front of everybody. Oh, he just likes you. You know, boys have weird ways of showing you they like you through violence. And then you wonder why people stay in fucked up relationships. It's a whole thing. But you're not gonna act like it doesn't exist. And I totally agree with Bhad Bhabie. Bitch, if you got the enough motherfucking pussy to put your hands on me in private, when I expose your ass, you better come to the front. You better be proud of what you did. You better be proud of what you did. You do it so much. You do it so much. Come to the front and say, "Yeah, I put my hands on her," but you know it's wrong. That's why y'all do that shit in private, and you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. Otherwise, you would admit to doing it instead of calling the person crazy. She's abusing herself by staying with something that's not for her. She wants to be loved just like every human does, but she has to love herself. This idea where you're seeking love outside of yourself, you're only going to attract the same thing that's happening. Like that's the frequency you're on. You don't love yourself, you are going to attract someone else who doesn't love themselves. He don't love himself. He doesn't even have enough self-control, emotional control, and yet and still he's running around fucking a bunch of bitches. And he has no self-control, no self-restraint, no sexual discipline, nothing, just running around like a fucking dog trying to stick his dick in whoever will let him, and probably some who didn't let him. Because that's what it's giving. And we need to check his browser history. That man is gay, girl. You're not even with the man you think you're with. This thing where y'all want to equate a man being gay to him being abusive towards you, y'all got to stop. That's another way to scapegoat these men out of the responsibility. Oh, he's gay, that's why he's beating on you. And yet and still, I'm sure you probably around here looking for a fucking man. Y'all know these niggas is gay. Y'all know they have irresponsible sexual. They don't have any sexual discipline. They're irresponsible with their ejaculation. But yet and still, y'all still sit up among each other trying to figure out how to get one of them.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really.
And hope you got your goddamn fingers crossed, doing all kind of rituals and shit, trying to get one of them to get close to you. I thought don't y'all know better? I thought y'all knew better. Don't y'all develop faster than them? How do you grow up in the brain? It could just turn, it just goes upside down. I answered my own question. Because you're living in a system that's already upside down, so your goddamn brains is upside down in your skull. That's what the problem is. And we just gotta keep turning the skull so it can be turning the head, turning the brain so that your brain can be right side up in the skull instead of rattling around in the skull. Y'all got to stop scapegoating. If you know all these things about these men, why do you still, how, when do you stop? Like, tell me when you decided to, like, oh, this is not what I need to be doing with my life. This is not how I should be spending my days. Crying over somebody, allowing somebody to disrespect you, dealing with it, trying to fight for something that is dissolving in front of your eyes. When did you decide to say, hey, you know what? This is actually not for me. This is my life. I should not spend any more portions of my life dealing with stuff like this. Didn't you buy the vehicle, little girl? You are a mother now. You better repo everything you can from him. Auction that mess off, change the locks, get an order of protection for you and your baby, hire security, get back on your grind and live your best life. That's good advice. but she needs some therapy. I'm going to add some therapy to that. If you don't know what abuse is like firsthand, go ahead and exit the comments. So glad the comments see through him, because folks are over on Threads victim blaming like crazy. Whoever recorded the video of her on the top of the car is not her friend. Why would you even give that to him to put out there on the internet? She needs some real people with her. It's obvious everybody around her ain't writing for her like that. Kind of feel bad for her. And you know what they do? Like, it happens all the time too. It doesn't really matter the racial identity or ethnic background. If there's a young woman who has some access to some resources, there's going to be a older man. Like, I don't understand how, like, y'all don't see the mentality of your sons. Like, when do you, like, you don't see, like, where is his mother and father, or where are his family members? But it only reminds me of that Russian girl who was my neighbor, who was being abused by her little black boyfriend with his tight jeans on and his ass hanging out of his pants. Her family, his family, was also mooching off of her on the little resources that she had. She probably had, because she had a baby, she probably had some food stamps. But when I tell you, I would never see anybody of her background come, maybe I missed it, but I know the niggas was going through and up. When I tell you, that door used to be slamming all the time, in and out, somebody in and out, all his family, just using her along with him, and just like using her. And that's who you had a baby with. Like I said, stuff like this happens on a, she's just a public figure, and this is what an example of this is. None of these things, none of these situations that are happening amongst these people that are sharing their lives on the internet is not happening elsewhere. It is happening. Someone else, some other woman, young, old, going through the same exact thing. Different man though. But both of those women will be told you should have chose better. How do you choose better when they're socialized that way, or they're socialized to relate to women in the way that they are? And the women just keep trying to find someone that is going to, like, be kind to them and have some compassion and pay attention to them. They just keep trying and trying and trying, when the men aren't even socialized like that. And you have to find one, and that's what y'all be in the orchards and the Monsanto orchards, trying to look for one who doesn't fall and lean into his socialization. And they spend their lives trekking the tundra, not going to get the therapy, not spending time to themselves. You didn't even have you just gave birth. I'm thinking about Cardi. You just gave birth last year and you're pregnant again by this man who has, like, an SA charge against him. A new, like, yesterday I read that he had one baby, but apparently he just had a baby. They haven't even The baby hasn't even made it to the blogs yet, to the internet yet. So Stefan Diggs had just had a baby. So he's another one who lacks sexual discipline, who lacks discipline. How many women are you sticking your raw penis in? How many? And then how many of y'all are taking raw dick and don't know how many raw butts and pussies have been around him? Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Who took the video? Sounds like her homegirl telling her to get off the car. I'm going to film you. You look stupid, girl. This is really sad what's happening to Bhad Bhabie. David's titled song Celeste, recorded in December 2023, has resurfaced online. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. Mind you, in 2023, she was 11. or 12. Let's see, she was 15 in 2025, 14 in 2024, 13. So 12 or 13 in 2023, depending on when her birthday is. So she was 12 and 13 years old, right? The song says, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed, oh Celeste. Afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because I love you so, so much, baby. I love you so, so much." About a 13-year-old. You niggas are, when I tell you, but y'all be trying to find one that these niggas are weird. And then it's like, when did you get weird? When do y'all start getting weird? Like, when does that happen? Like, did nobody see this in him? Like, this weird, like, you like little girls? Like, why? And what is it's about control and domination. That's what it is. It's about control and domination. And then when they can't control you, then you end up in the trunk of a Tesla. I think whatever they say, he did that shit. The matching tattoos, there's a picture of them online together. So he's been around this little girl. She's a little girl. She's 15 years old. When she met him, she had to be 12, 13. And then she goes missing for a year. Oh, it's definitely going to be on SVU. Oh, it's definitely going to be on SVU, baby. Definitely. It is. Hold on. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't know what's with Bhad Bhabie, with Cardi, with the girls. It's all of this turmoil, this young girl, this young girl, teenager, 15 years old, this 20-year-old man writing love songs to a 12 and 13. Like, these niggas are, it's something wrong. And it's so sad that it makes me fucking furious that we are socialized to try to relate to these fucking weirdos, and they're fucking weird. Why the fuck are you 20 years old writing a fucking love song for a 12 or 13-year-old? It's not only your head that needs to be sawed off of your body, every other limb. The way that she was dismembered, you too will be dismembered, motherfucker. Ooh. And then y'all like, and then it's like, why did she have a boyfriend? Like, why did you let your daughter have a boyfriend? Her boyfriend, a boyfriend, she's in the 7th grade. She needs to be still collecting Pokemon cards. I don't know what they doing these days, or making friendship bracelets. She has a boyfriend named David. Why does she have a boyfriend at 13 again? Why does she have a tattoo at 13? She had a tattoo. 15 years old with a tattoo. Same tattoo as him. Shh, on the finger. Oh, it's definitely going to be a SVU. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But all these weirdos, one calling the woman schizophrenic, one having a baby by a man who has some kind of SA charge against him, and then this, and it's all over. This behavior is all behind men. So I don't know what to say. I'm gonna roll up. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna come back for another video. Peace.